That's why we're currently working on a version of a chronological feed that we hope to launch next year.
All right, so Instagram is bringing back the chronological feed. Before we get started, here's a quick history lesson. In 2016, Instagram removed the chronological feed and replaced it with the algorithmic feed, meaning that it started using algorithms to start tailoring the content in which each user sees, and a lot of people were unhappy about that. Or as a matter of fact, pretty much everyone hated it. I mean, I even preferred it when it was chronological. From a basic user standpoint, I think chronological is best, right? You only use Instagram to see what your friends and maybe a few influencers and celebrities are up to, but obviously you always want to see the latest content. You don't want Instagram to butt in and suggest some random content or someone else to think which content you should see. But I'm currently split. I think from a basic user standpoint, chronological is best. However, from a growth standpoint, I could argue that the algorithmic feed is best. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about the fact that Instagram is bringing back the chronological feed. And now I found this out when I came across this tweet by Matt Navarra, which said Instagram says it's working on a chronological feed. Mosseri says it might be ready early 2022. And I was like, how does this guy know this? This then led me to this broadcast where Mosseri, the CEO of Instagram, is testifying about protecting children on the platform. And so I wanted to be sure before I made a video, which is the first video in a long time, I admit. I didn't want to just share the headline, I wanted to share a little bit more. So I decided to go through the entire 2 hours to find out exactly what he said. And I think that just this effort and dedication goes to show that this video deserves a little bit of a like, just a small one. Because some of the stuff throughout this broadcast was just annoying, and like this Miss Kobletchar, right, talking about how it's entirely Instagram's responsibility. Watch this.
Mr. Mosseri, I'm looking at this from a perspective of parents, and I guess I'll talk to parents, since so many of them have told me that they have done everything they can to try to get their kids off your product, kids who are addicted at age 10. And they are scared for their kids. They want their kids to do their homework and not get addicted to Instagram.
When I first saw this, I was like, take their phone away. They're 10 years old. I didn't have a phone until I was 14, and I know the times have changed, but you can't blame Instagram, and you can't say that parents have tried everything if their kid has an iPhone or a smartphone at 10 years old. It's the parents' fault that a kid has a phone which gives them access to Instagram. And this lady's just the devil anyway, in my opinion, because I mean, look at the satisfaction on her face right here. That is the devil's smile. And don't worry, by the way, I'm aware that protecting kids on social media is a big issue, but you can't blame McDonald's if your kid gets fat because you let them go there every day. The same thing with Instagram. Anyway, I know it's an issue, but again, that's not what we're here to talk about. Back to the purpose of this video. Here's the exact convo.
Senator, we believe in more transparency and accountability, and we believe in more control. That's why we're currently working on a version of a chronological feed that we hope to launch next year.
And could you just elaborate a little bit on, when you talk about giving consumers a feed that's not being fed to them by an algorithm or that is in a chronological order? You said that you're going to implement that policy beginning next year. How do you came to that decision, and sort of more specifically, what the dates for that implementation, and maybe if you could elaborate a little bit on just exactly what that might look like?
Absolutely, Senator. So we've been focused for a few years now on how to give people more control over their experience. One idea that we've experimented with publicly is called favorites, where you can pick a subset of people you want to have show up at the top of feed. Another we've been working on for months now is a chronological version of Instagram. I wish I had a specific month to tell you right now, but right now we're targeting the first quarter of next year.
So as you can see, apparently it's planned. But here's my big question, right? Why is it taking so long to come out? Instagram already had a chronological feed. What work do they have to do on it? It's just a question of sorting the feed's posts by date and time of posting. This should be very simple for the massive amount of genius developers they must have. And I get it, there's like UX design tweaks that you want to make to the new feature, but it shouldn't take them so long to put out if that's what they really want to do. But anyway, what do you think about this? Do you prefer the algorithmic feed, or are you looking forward to the return of the chronological feed? Let me know in the comment sections down below. Thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you on Instagram in my chronological feed in 2022.